Welcome to the Talking the Line podcast, presented to you by Talking the Line Sports Media, giving you our best insights and analysis so you can rake in some cold hard cash on your next sports bet. Now sit on back, open up your mind, and let's cash some tickets. We can't thank you enough for joining us. We hope you enjoy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers, far and wide. Welcome in to episode number 181 of the Talking the Line podcast on this beautiful Monday of bets. You know the vibe, you know the drill. We're bringing in nothing but good energy and positive energy on this beautiful December the 13th, 2021. Now, we have an absolutely loaded Monday show to bring you, even though we have a little bit of what we call in the industry lighter slates today. But before we get into all of that, please take a few moments to smash that subscribe button on whatever platform you are currently ingesting the TTL Pod on. If you're watching on YouTube, you might as well hit that notification bell over there as well so you never miss the start of a live show or any additional content dropping from the crew. But if you are watching on one of our social media platforms, make sure you hit that like button or follow button there so you never miss any of our social media content. However, one final pit stop, if you're listening to the pod on your favorite podcast directory, make sure you hit that subscribe button there. In addition, if you haven't already, as we do release the audio of every episode after each live show is complete. Next item up on the docket, you can be so kind, you can find it in your heart to do so. You got an extra second while you're watching the show. Hit that like button, leave us a comment, leave us a rating, jump on over yonder in the live chat if you are watching live. Maybe even hit that share button. Send it on over to your brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, friends, enemies, neighbors, and people that live on the opposite side of the world of you, but you refer to them as good old-fashioned degenerates, and they like cashing tickets, because that's what we do here at the TTL Pod and with the TTL crew, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate it when you do. It only helps us make TTL Sports Media bigger, better, each and every one of you. Last, certainly not least, head on over to this episode's description. well, you will locate the Talking the Line Linktree. Within that Linktree, you will find the talkingtheline.com website, all of the TTL Crew's social platforms, and our additional content, so you can consume all of that jazz however and whenever you please from one convenient location. Ladies and gentlemen and beautiful gambling people, joining us for episode number 181, I am your humbled, honored, hyped, in all ways handicapping host, Colton, Captain Colt Soroka, and I can't thank you enough for choosing to stop by on this beautiful, for the second time now, so you don't have to check your calendar officially, December the 13th in the year 2021. We have one hell of a show here on tap today. We got a lot to talk about. I'm honestly not looking forward to bringing the next guy in here, you know, the man who sits to my left in the box, because we sat and watched a football game yesterday, and it did not go in the favor of my team. If you don't know the show, you won't know what I'm talking about, but if you do, it's the Bears and the Packers. Obviously, my partner's Packers took care of business. Nice, easy, no problem, no harm, no foul whatsoever. Thought the Bears had a little bit of gumption in them to get it done, but I saw that start to that movie far too many times, and the ending far too many times as well. So, I suppose I am like Teflon today, ready to take any blade he will throw at me. My friends, help me welcome in the man, the myth, the degenerate gambling legend, and TTL's resident Southsider and Cheesehead. Keep doing that so they know why the fuck I was laughing. Southsider himself, Mr. Riley RMags Magnuson. Partner, how you doing over there today, pal?
My man, you just laid down how I'm doing. I don't even have to say anything. You just laid it down. I gloated all last week. Who would I be to, shove the knife even deeper into your back? I saw you last night, dude. Had a hell of a feast yesterday, hell of a football Sunday. But, hey, man, props to the Bears. I will give props to the Bears. They threw the kitchen sink at the Pack, at least in the first half. And, was I concerned? Not really, because like you said, you've seen that movie far too many times, as have I. And, but it was a fun game. I had a hell of a lot more fun than I usually do with those games, at least as far as excitement is concerned. So, hey, we had a fun day, and, the Pack keep rolling on, so I've got nothing to complain about over here, my friend.
100%. We had a Sunday for the boys. I made a little pork butt. One of our buddies made some pasta. Shout out Scoot. Mags made his classic dip. We had a pretty doggone festive Sunday, if you will, filled with cash and tickets. Mags cashed a couple of big parlays on his end of things, so doing some good shit there. Missed the doggone lucky number 7 parlay from the balcony bets again, but if you followed all of our straight bets, we had a damn good day all across the board. We had a 4-2 day in told, and actually, while I mention that right now, we might as well just pop it up on the screen so you guys know what the hell's going on. So without further ado, my friends, the TTL Crew's best bets from Week 14 of the NFL season are now live on your screen. Both a 2-1 day for me and my partner. Mags ended up cashing the Cowboys -4 with ease. The football team trying to come all the way back in the back door at the very end of the game. Got sweaty. The under in Atlanta and Carolina, that bad boy was dead in the fourth quarter. And then Chargers easy money -10. Any key takeaways from your 3 picks, partner?
No, I mean, it was for 90% of those games that the 2 wins I had were no sweat free, and then the last 5 minutes of both of those actually got a little bit sweaty. But I mean, really, you give me your takeaways, partner. You found the 2 dogs that managed to cover the Ravens, obviously flying through the back door. I kind of predicted it was going to be a little chalky outside of that, but I think it's just one of those weeks where, the chalk wins. And, I mean, the books got ransacked yesterday. The Cowboys covered, the Packers covered, the Chiefs covered. Typically not a very good day for the books when those 3 boys cover, my friend.
Yeah, Ravens +2.5 snuck in the back door even without Lamar. Falcons +2.5, easy money, no problem whatsoever. I thought we were going to go 3-0 on the dogs.
Yeah.
Bengals were the only one that couldn't get it done. I was actually surprised the 49ers were able to shut them down in overtime. That really bummed me out. I thought we were going perfect. But hey, is what it is. No big deal. Sure seems still like a positive day to me if you played it all the way across the board. So there you go. There you have it. Let's bring us back on in the screen. All right. What do we got coming up here today, actually? Before we get into that, not a bad college basketball Saturday for me from Cup of Joe on campus. Kind of recapping that from Saturday. I went 4-3 overall in my plays. How'd you do overall, Max? No, okay.
Overall, I was pretty break even as far as my actual like specific pod or Cup of Joe plays. I guess I didn't pick out exactly how I did, but I know I did pretty break even all day on Saturday.
For sure. I was 4-3, so ended up going positive, but yeah, kind of right around in that break-even spot. So, nothing terrible, but hey, free shout out there to Cup of Joe on campus. Tune in every Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. What's coming up on today's show? Well, the usual Monday best bets. RMags has one pick. He's got the NFL football game covered. Not telling you if it's a spread, if it's a total, if it's a team total. You're just going to have to tune in to find out. Then I got my picks. I actually got 4 coming at you. Mid-Major King is sticking on his crown today and have 4 picks that I do believe make it all to the pay window. We had the Monday Madness Parlay. There was originally 4 legs on it if you did read the description, paying out at 15-1 odds, and one of those legs was the Chicago Blackhawks. If you haven't seen Blackhawks and Calgary Flames, got postponed, rescheduled, TBD, so we're not going to have that. The other 3 legs are still good to go, still paying out at plus 600 odds, so I'm still a pretty big fan of that one. We'll recap all of that, and then we'll dive into the Moneyline Dice roll of the day. They got their eyes set on, or their corners set on, rather, the cubicle objects that be Suns at Clippers tonight. We'll wait to dish out all of the total and the line and everything, the spread, once we get to that game, because it looks like it has been moving a little bit here so far this morning.
Got some big old spam if that's where your eyes are taking you.
Nope, not at all, but all right, good deal. Yeah, it'd be nice if you keep a look on that, partner, because I'm always in the middle of some other stuff, so let me fucking get these dipshits the fuck out of here, please, and thank you, you stupid motherfuckers. Stupid motherfuckers. Okay. Suns at Clippers. Stupid motherfuckers. Like, that shit is getting so fucking old, dude. Like, I can't lie. That shit's really starting to piss me the fuck off. Like, that's annoying as hell. Like, just knock it the fuck off. Like, seriously, who fuck you? But I digress. It's all good. Positive vibes here, my friend. I hope so. Fuck you if you are, you fucking son of a bitch. But I digress. Let's move on. Second half of the show, my friends, after the Moneyline Dice give us their best bets for Suns and Clippers, we will get into RMags Sidebar. Obviously, will lead us into a few rabbit holes, talk some bullshit back and forth. We'll get into a couple of our daily leans. I don't have anything too major since it is a light slate. Talk about a little bit more of this past weekend of action, give you some key TTL announcements, and wrap it up with some motivation minutes, and we get on out of here ready for our day. Outside of that, partner, anything I missed as far as the TTL Pod, episode 181?
No, sir. I'm ready to get rocking and rolling.
All right. Any late-breaking news? Anything on that front I might have missed?
Minor Texans news, which absolutely nobody gives a shit about. Rex Burkhead hip issue day-to-day for Jaguars game. Sure, everybody was waiting on that one.
150%. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So, my friends, and my friend over there in that box, one final item we must complete before we get today's show rocking and rolling, and that is please lift your mugs, your cups, your glasses, whatever you may be sipping the black elixir of the gods out this morning, for the usual toast to me, to you over there, good sir, and all of you beautiful people. Take your sip, and we will shortly get on with it.
I'm ready to rock, man.
For crying out loud.
I got the Meowie Christmas mugs here. My girlfriend just got me stocked up with all these goofy-ass cat mugs.
Happy Festivus, dude. Let's rock and roll. First segment of the day, my friend. RMags, best bets of the day. Told you, he's only got one coming at you. Should be short, should be sweet, but loaded with knowledge and insights as per usual. Partner, let it rip, let him have it, and as per usual, you have the floor.
All right, partner, you mentioned it. I'm going to the NFL game, Monday Night Football. I'm not going to the total. I'm not going to the spread. I'm sticking with the money line in this one. I am taking the underdog LA Rams on the road to get this one done outright, partner. One thing I've got to talk about here, partner, seeing a couple narratives that I'm going to kind of squash a little bit here. One, off the top, is that the anti-Matt Stafford crowd has been rather boisterous the last few weeks with a few stumbles there for the Rams, and I'm going to sit here and call BS on that a little bit. The man loses his number 2 receiver, one of the top 20 receivers in the NFL, you might say, and then they bring in Odell Beckham Jr., which, say whatever you will about the guy. You bring him in when you lose somebody else, that's going to cause some growing pains, my friends. So I can't really blame them for a few scuffles there against some good teams, not to mention. So I'm not saying they're going to be a juggernaut. I'm not saying that, but I do think they're going to get back on track here. And the other one, partner, the other one here that I'm seeing is that the Arizona Cardinals are this juggernaut themselves, which I'm not going to sit here and say that they're a bad team or anything like that, but I don't think they're as good as everyone's making them out to be. You look at the last 2 months that they have played. They've got wins over Houston. They've got a loss to my Packers, which banged up, no Devontae Adams. A lot of different outages there for the Cardinals. Dude, I don't know what's going on with
you
me.
Okay, man? Take yourself a deep breath. You all right?
But I don't know why. The last week, it's like the first week we started where I'm just like out of breath. I don't know what's going on here.
I know, you're just trying to force everything out. Just talk like a normal human being. We're here. It's all good. Rip it. Murder it.
I don't know what's going on.
Kill it. Go. It's all you.
Wins over the Houston Texans, lost to my Packers, banged up Packers, two wins over San Francisco over the last couple of months, which is not bad wins, or not unimpressive wins, I might add, but lost to Carolina, and wins over Seattle and Chicago. And I know it is kind of impressive that they've been able to win all these games, but I'm pushing back on the juggernaut narrative is kind of what I'm doing here. So I think this is a get-right game, or last week, I'm sorry. I think last week was a get-right game for the Rams. Obviously, it was the Jaguars, but you're giving me a team putting up 37 points on any defense in the NFL after they scuffled for a few weeks. I think that's a little bit of a get-right game, partner, and I think we see a nice performance from Matt Stafford in a dome, which he is very accustomed to playing in, obviously. I think we see a nice performance from him. I think they get it done here. McVay has dominated these Cardinals throughout his career here in L.A. 6-0 ATS last 6 in Arizona and 7-1-1 last 9 meetings. Give me the Rams to take care of business, my man. That last game that they played, I know everyone's looking at that last game where the Cardinals beat them down. The Rams were coming off the biggest win of their season in a giant letdown spot where they, the week before they kicked the pants out of Tampa Bay. You come in with a big letdown spot against the Cardinals, you're going to put up a stinker. So I'm backing the Rams tonight, my friend, to take care of business on the road, get their season back on track, inch closer to that division, and supplant themselves as a playoff team. So give me the Rams money line on a little bit of a plus money action, my friend, for my first and only bet of the day.
Okie dokie, my friend. The more that I listen to you talk about it, the more that I think about it myself. I really like this Rams money line. I think that the sharpness ends here. We talked about it as the show opened today, but Vegas took a licking and a half from the public yesterday, and I think we see a little bit of a turnaround here today. It seems already that everybody, their uncles, brothers, sisters, and dogs are on the Cardinals minus 2.5, so I think you found yourself on the right side, partner. First best bet of the day from RMags. If you're locking it in, get it in right here, right now, so you can get the best value on that plus money Pauly. Los Angeles Rams, money line. Okie dokie, Artichoke. Anything else on your end of the world before we switch gears into my best bets of the day?
Just making sure my blind ass didn't miss any notes, but I think I'm good to go, dude.
All right. Well, I will take the baton and continue to hustle this show around the proverbial track that it is on currently. Without further ado, all 4 basketball plays. Going number 1. I've seen a little bit of nonsense happening. I've seen some people that I like when we're on the opposite side, let's say.
Okay.
Take the side we're not on here. So, big fan. This first play, going to the matchup between the Indiana State Sycamores and the North Dakota State Bison, my friends. And we are taking the Sycamores plus 4. Now, you might have noticed it opened up at 2.5, up to 4. Now it's kind of back down to 3.5. I'm fine with it at 3.5. I think this is just fine. And I think the Sycamores actually end up winning this game outright. But I will more than gladly take them to win it by a 3-2 or lose it by 3-2 or 1 with the extra underdog backing. I don't think this line movement is something you need to buy into as, oh my gosh, there are so many sharps throwing money at North Dakota State. They're not good this year, my friends. They are 1-6-1 against the number overall, 0-2-1 against the number at home. They are not good, my friends. There is no reason they need to be favored by more than 1.5 points here. They're being extremely overvalued at home. Now, on the opposite side of that, I know we got burned on the Sycamores one time, but that was on Cup of Joe on campus. Not talking the line, my friends. We bring them to the TTL Pod, and they are stone cold killers. They're 5-3 ATS overall, 3-1 against the number on the road, and they've actually covered 2 straight after a little bit of a scuffle as underdogs. I think there's a couple of other key reasons as to why the Sycamores are going to win this game with ease, my friends. Number one is tempo. They're going to boat race the Bison all day long. 54th in the nation per Ken Palm. North Dakota State, 293rd in the nation. The other is just pure offensive efficiency. Sycamores are so much better than the Bison. Everybody wants to talk about the Bison's defense, this and that. It is not a Big 12 defense, for fuck's sake. Some of the stuff I'm reading this morning, what have you guys seen of the Bison? Are you kidding me right now? No way. So this comes down to offense for me, my friends. And ISU, the wrong ISU, but still, Indiana State, 153rd in adjusted offensive efficiency, 108th in effective field goal percent, compared to the Bison, 196th in AOE and 319th in effective field goal percent. So if anybody's going to get hot, it's going to be the Sycamores. And if anybody's going to cough up the rock and not win the turnover battle, I see that being the Bison, my friends. They're 250th on the offensive side of the ball in turnover percent per Ken Palm, 356 defensively. Compared that to the Sycamores that are 95th offensively in turnover percent and 261st defensively per Ken Palm. You don't believe me on all that stuff. Believe the trends. That's simple. ISU 4-1-1 ATS last 6 as a road dog. 6-1 ATS last 7 versus a team with a winning straight up home record, and 7-3-1 ATS last 11 following an ATS win. The Bison 0-4-1 ATS last 5 as a favorite, overvalued. 0-6 and 2 ATS their last 8 as a home favorite. Ooh. North Dakota State 1-4 ATS last 5 games played on Monday on their home hardwood. I don't make these things up. They just happen. It's fucking uncanny. Give me the Indiana State Sycamores. Lock them in at +4. Fine with them at 3.5. And if it goes back down to 2.5 for the overvalued Bison at home.
I like a partner back down to 3.5 actually right now, as I'm seeing it right now. I do like it. Did you? I like it a lot. What's that?
That's what I just said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was at 4. My bad.
I said I caught it at 4, and I said now it's down to 3.5. I'm comfortable at 3.5. It's all good. No big deal. What do you got?
I thought you said you had it. Yeah, I was mishearing you. It is at 3.5. I like the play a lot. I think this is. I think they get it done outright. At worst, I think it's a coin flip. So if you're giving 3.5 to a coin flip team, absolutely.
150%, man. I don't think it ends more than a bucket there. So, yeah, the extra hook does make me even happier. So, first play, Indiana State Sycamores, +4, +3.5, just fine. Second best bet. This one might be one of my favorites. You hear old Matilda back here?
Oh, yeah.
She's a little excited here today. She might be trying to get in. I don't know. She's loud as all hell out there. Oh, for crying out loud, I'll see you later. Goodness gracious. Maybe, well, if she was a dog, maybe it'd be like, oh, the dogs are barking. But no, she's not a dog. She's just a cat.
Got any cats on your card here?
Maybe. We'll see. No, I don't think so. Cleveland State Vikings versus the Oklahoma State Cowboys is the second game I'm going to. My second best bet of the day is the Cleveland State Vikings plus the 12.5, my friends. This is just too many damn points when it comes down to it at the end of the day. Oklahoma State is not that same Cowboys team from last year. We all remember the magnificent tournament run and what they did. They're just simply not the same team. They might be 6-3 straight up, but they're 4-5 against the number. It's even worse at home. 3-3 straight up, 500 overall record, but 2-4 against the number at home. It is the same Cleveland State team, however, on the opposite side of the court. They're 6-2 straight up, 4-2 ATS, building on the momentum that they had from last year. Haven't won on the road yet, but they've only played one game. 0-1 straight up, 1-0 against the number. I like them to continue to stay hot, covering any number left, right, and center, especially one that's at double digits with an Oklahoma State team that I don't think needs to be favored by more than 3.5 in this game. You don't believe me? There's two key things that I see here coming down to this game, at least falling in the favor of the Vikings covering. Number one is turnovers. If anybody's going to be coughing up the rock, I see it being Oklahoma State. Too many states. Cleveland State is 69th on the offensive side of the ball in turnover percent per Ken Palm, where Oklahoma State right now really struggling in this department. 303rd in offensive turnover percent. Also, the reason why you're seeing a lot of this early season struggles from Oklahoma State is just because they're not as experienced of a team as they were. As evidence per Ken Palm, they're 230th in experience in the nation. Compare that to Cleveland State, that's second in the nation. That's why inexperienced. That's why they're continuing to build off of that momentum from 2020 here into 2021 and now all the way into 2022. You don't believe me on all of that? Believe the trends, my friends. Cleveland State, 5-1 ATS. I don't make this shit up. Last 6 Monday games. 4-1 ATS, last 5 on the road. And 7-2 ATS, last 9 games as a road dog. Oklahoma State is 1-6 ATS, their last 7 home games versus a team with a winning road percent below 400. And Oklahoma State is 1-5 ATS in their last 5 home games overall. Too many doggone points. Give me the Cleveland State Vikings, plus 12.5.
I like it, my man. I think this Cleveland State team is a possible tournament team, if not definitely a tournament team, running through their conference. I think a lot of people are expecting Oklahoma State to have a bounce back after a couple losses straight up, and outright, I could absolutely be bought into that as far as a bounce back on the actual straight up money line. But as far as those points, I think you're on the right side. That's way too many for that team, man.
100%, and I wouldn't view it as a public dog. I think it's the right side, regardless of where it's at. So. Good spot, good number, 12.5, no problem, no harm, no foul. Third best bet of the day, coming from your boy. Want to make sure I have it right. Yeah, it's starting to tick up. Would not take it over to where it's at now. First, let me tell you the matchup. Rhode Island Rams against the University of Wisconsin Milwaukee Panthers. Taking the Rams, I got it when the book started fooling around with the number this morning. They dropped it down to 6, and I scooped it up fast as can be. At consensus right now, it looks like it's about 7.5. So I would not take it over 7.5, but I do still like it there because the Rams are rolling, my friends. They're 7-3 straight up, 6-4 against the number. Now, they're 4 failed covers. They failed to cover a minus 16.5 against Sacred Heart. Still won the game with ease by double digits. Providence, they failed to cover plus 4.5. Even my partner said on Friday's show he's not going to doubt Ed Cooley ever again in his entire life. Tulsa, they failed to cover a minus 4.5, and then they failed to cover a minus 3.5 against Florida Gulf Coast. When they're in those big spread numbers, they don't seem to cover them, and when they're in the bucket to 2 bucket numbers, they don't seem to cover those. But that 6 to 7 to 8 for the Rhode Island Rams so far this year just seems like their sweet spot. So this one kind of flew off the page at me, especially against a Milwaukee team that is terrible, my friends. If you remember, about a week and a half ago, we backed the Youngstown State Penguins as an underdog, as a sizable underdog against the same Panthers team at home, and Youngstown State ended up winning outright. So I think the Rams come in and absolutely roll them. The Panthers are 2-7 straight up, 3-6 ATS, 1-3 straight up and ATS at home. So you don't believe me on that? There are a couple of key things overall here, and it's the fact that URI just has a defensive and an offensive edge. They're only allowing 62.8 points per game, 72nd in adjusted defensive efficiency, and 18th in opponent effective field goal percent, compared to Milwaukee that's allowing 70.4 points per game, 193rd in ADE, and 58th in opponent effective field goal percent. I think those numbers for Milwaukee, too, start to kind of tick up, and we see some negative regression from them there because they have played a lot lesser competition than URI has. And URI's offensive numbers, too, are absolutely ridiculous compared to Milwaukee. They're scoring 70.1 points per game. They're 96th in AOE and 32nd in effective field goal percent. Compare that to Milwaukee, that's scoring 63.4 points per game, but they're 227th in AOE and 258th in effective field goal percent. I also think URI's ability to clean up the offensive glass gives them some second chance opportunities and really build upon that lead. 98th in offensive rebounding percent compared to Milwaukee, that's 286th in defensive rebounding percent per KenPom. Those are the key things I think loom into the Rams really taking care of this -6, -7.5. Again, wouldn't take it over 7.5. But if you don't believe me on that, closing thoughts as always, believe the trends. Rhode Island, 6-3 ATS, last 9 as a favorite. Milwaukee, 2-6 ATS, last 8 overall. 1-5 ATS, last 6 following a straight-up loss. And 0-4-1 ATS, I can't make this shit up, last 5 Monday games. My third best bet of the day before we wrap up the card with the fourth, the Rhode Island Rams, -6.
I like it, my man. I'm big. Hey, we each got a little Rams action going on. We've been doing that next like 3 TTL pods. So I mean, hey, if that's all you need, then that's all you need. But I'm a big fan of this one as well, man. I'm a big fan of the Rhode Island Rams here.
All right, well there you go. There you have it. How about my fourth and final best bet of the day? Now, if you are a fan of this show, you might be surprised as to where I am going here, but I'm thinking there's going to be few and far between times that we get to fade our boys. And this is one of them, my friends. So going to the matchup, let's set the stage between the Cal Poly Mustangs and the Portland Pilots. You watch the show, you know we're big Pilots guys. But we ain't taking them today. We're taking the Cal Poly Mustangs plus 5.5. Again, I do not want to fade the Pilots, but it is a very, very, very valuable spot. And it's, I think, the most valuable spot on the entire board. One thing that jumped out to me is that the Pilots have not played since December the 3rd. I think they come out with a lot of court rust. I think they come out real tired, and I think they look just absolutely exhausted early against a Mustangs team that does like to get out and run from time to time. One thing I also saw is that the last game the Pilots played before going on this long break was against the VMI Keydets, a pretty similar team to the Mustangs, as minus 5-point favorites at home, and they failed to cover. Something very interesting there. Kind of sent some more alarms off on my head. But I looked into Cal Poly, and even though they haven't had the best straight-up season so far, they've been quiet cover machines, my friends. They're 3-6 straight up overall, but 5-3 against the number. 1-3 straight up on the road. 3-1 against the number. I think they continue to roll as at least covering, but as far as straight up, I don't think that they're going to have any shot in hell in winning this game outright. I just think something fun, goofy happens where it only finishes by 1 or 2 points and we're on the right side with the Mustangs. A couple of key things as to why I see that happening. It's going to be a defensive game. Cal Poly's only allowing 63.3 points per game. They're 222nd in ADE, 69th in opponent effective field goal percent, and 139th in turnover percent. They actually got the edge in a lot of those categories because Portland allowing 69.8 points per game, 277th in ADE, 64th in opponent effective field goal percent, and only 145th in turnover percent. So if anybody gets a few more key stops, has a couple of more forced turnovers, things like that, I like it to be Cal Poly. And then another thing, I think that they're really going to clean up the offensive glass. Cal Poly is 76th in offensive rebounding percent, might only be 217th in defensive rebounding percent, but Portland hasn't been worth a damn offensively or defensively trying to clean up the glass. 246th per KenPom in offensive rebounding percent and 212th in defensive rebounding percent. So I think, honestly, Cal Poly's ability to force some turnovers, clean up the glass, get some stuff done on that end allows them to really win this game by just out-hustling. Well, I didn't say I win. They cover the game just by out-hustling the Pilots. I don't want to say all of that. Now, I did mention at the top, I think they're going to be a little tired. I think they're going to be a little worn out. I kind of think that's how this game is going to go, them being the Pilots, and that's going to force them to have to allow on a lot of their bench guys and keep guys rotating in and out. And I said, well, let me look. Do they got an advantage there? Oh my goodness, not even close, my friends. Portland is 288th in the nation per KenPom in depth on their bench. Compare that to Cal Poly, 80th in the nation in depth. I think they boat race them and keep boys rotating in all day, all night, just draining in buckets on the Pilots to, at the bare minimum, we don't need to win it, keep this game close for a cover. But you don't believe me? Believe the trends. Cal Poly, 4-1 ATS, last 5 as a road dog. 4-1 ATS, last 5 overall. 10-1 ATS, last 11 as a road dog. 6-2 ATS, last 8 following an ATS win. 3-9 ATS, last 12 are the Portland Pilots as a favorite. They're also 2-9 ATS, last 11 as a home favorite. They're also 6-20 ATS, last 26 Monday games, and oh my gosh, excuse you, partner. Might be worth a Moneyline sprinkle after all, because the Portland Pilots are 2-4 straight up their last 6 Monday games overall. So maybe they come out with a little bit of a break, come out a little bit flat, and Cal Poly smacks them in the mouth. I think they do, but at the bare minimum for a cover. So fourth and final best bet for me, closing out my card. Give me the Cal Poly Mustangs plus 5.5.
I like a partner. I think this Cal Poly team might start actually winning some of these games outright, and I actually hope they do so we can get these Portland Pilots at a more favorable number coming up here after this game. But I do like this play quite a bit, partner. I like the narrative as far as the the court rust, little out of condition type stuff, if you will. So I'm a big fan of this one.
Big time, and I think much like you, if they do end up losing this game outright, then we can get a little bit better value on them going forward in the future. All right, there you go. There you have it. All of my best bets of the day, all of RMags best bets. Let's dish out quickly today's special play, the Monday Madness Parlay, my friends. Now, originally 4 legs on this bad boy, but we told you at the top of the show, one of the legs got canceled. Chicago Blackhawks at the Calgary Flames have been postponed for a later date to be determined. So, those plus 1,500 odds on that original Monday Madness four-legger banger have now gone down to plus 600. 3 legs. All other ones look to be good. Oh, Uncle COVID ain't fucking around with nobody. No nonsense happening in the organizations. It looks like we are good to go. So, here we go. Listen up. Get ready to smash it in. First leg on the Monday Madness Parlay. We're going back to the Monday Night Football game. We are taking, or going rather, to the total. Los Angeles Rams versus Arizona Cardinals under 51 total points. Right now, it seems that 50 is the most common over total right now. And when it gets up to 51, it is the most common under total. It gets up to 51, 52, and everybody thinks it's just going to steam up into the 80s and 90s. And au contraire, my friends, it ends up staying in the 30s and low 40s. Second leg on the Monday Madness Parlay. We're going to the NBA hardwood, and we're hitting the matchup between the Golden State Warriors and the Indiana Pacers. And my friends, we are taking the home dog in this matchup, not necessarily just because they're a home dog, but because our boy Steph Curry, and most especially Mag's boy, his MVP ticket, Steph Curry, might be having a little bit of a rest day because he's only 7 threes away from a very solid record I'll let you talk about here, partner. But he is also playing at MSG this week. So, playing against the Indiana Pacers for the record, or against the Knicks and MSG for the record? You tell me. I think they're resting him here today. Third and final leg before I kick it over to my partner to give any closing thoughts on the Monday Madness Parlay. We are going to the Cal Poly Mustangs, plus 5.5. Partner had enough faith on it as well to bring it to the Monday Madness Parlay. I think this is a spot that you got to back them, and if everything kind of goes to plan, it will only allow the Portland Pilots to become even more of a mid-major darling for the crew going forward all the way into January, February, and March, baby. But third leg on it, we're taking the Cal Poly Mustangs plus 5.5 or plus 5, wherever you're seeing it at. Parlay all 3 of those bad boys up for plus 600 odds. My friend over there, anything you have in closing?
I do, actually. I have got one thing that you're going to love, my friend. The Arizona Cardinals' last 8 Monday games. Last 8 games on Monday, all to the under. Last 4 games in Week 14, all to the under for the Cardinals. So a lot of nice random trends here going in our favor that I do like. As far as the Warriors, you mentioned as far as the Steph Curry stuff, he was on day-to-day, so regardless of the record stuff, he might have had a day of rest anyways. He might go a little bit here at quarter and a half, 2 quarters, 3 quarters. Nonetheless, partner, this Pacers team proves to be a little bit of a tough matchup for the Warriors. Last year, they played 3 times. This is the first one this year. Pacers got them both in Indiana. They played 3 times. 2 of them were in Indiana. That's a mouthful for me. Both of them for the Pacers win, and a close 4-point loss at Golden State, and the one that was in Golden State. So I think this Pacers team is just a tough matchup for the Warriors. Already dropping down to 3.5 with some big old monetary liability coming for the Warriors. So I'm a big fan of that one, my friend.
I think we found the right side. I said, hey, Max, what do you think about those Pacers?
I might take him straight up.
Why
dude.
not? Yeah, I think I might as well. I think I might as well. Might be worth a little sprinkle there, my friends. But there you go. There you have it. Today's Monday Madness Parlay. Okay, let's recap all of today's best bets in case we missed anything here. So for the first time, or you missed anything, we'll have each other's backs. How about that? You scratch our back, we'll scratch your back. We'll give you the best bets. You keep us honest in case we missed anything. So without further ado, my friends, rip out your sports books, get out your pens, your pencils, and your paper, or whatever mode and method you take stock of the TTL Crew's best bets of the day, my friends, because they are about to be live on your screen for the first time, live in prime time as soon as I change the ticker on this gorgeous December the 13th, 2021, also known as a beautiful Monday of Bets. So kindly turn your attention all the way above us. Way up over yonder, top left portion of your screen, you see RMags Lone Best bet of the day. He has taken the Los Angeles Rams on the money line, saying phooey to the points against the Arizona Cardinals in Monday Night Football tonight. Turn your attention to the right top portion of your screen. The mid-major king has entered the chat for college basketball games on my card today. We're taking the Indiana State Sycamores +4, the Rhode Island Rams -6, do not take over 7.5, the Cleveland State Vikings +12.5, and the Cal Poly Mustangs +5.5. Directly above us, today's special play of the day was originally 4 legs at +1,500 odds. One got canceled, the Blackhawks and the Flames. Now it's down to +600. 3 legs on that bad boy. Right above us are the Indiana Pacers +4, the Cal Poly Mustangs +5.5, and the under 51 in the Monday Night Football matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. My friends, we are getting all 6 plays to the pay window today. But before we can do that and load our bankroll in today's battle with the books, we need you to lock them in, hammer them home, sprinkle a little bit of dough down, whatever you need to say. Just make sure you get today's TTL crew best bets of the day that are primed for ticket cashing. And whatever the current best line is on your favorite sports book.
Ooh.
Let's go! That sure seems like a day you're going to need to have the brooms out of the closet, my friend. So there you go. There you have it. The TTL crew's best bets of the day. Now, you may also see, we can keep that there for a second. You may also see a little bit of additional text there. Bottom right corner of your screen. Right over yonder, you see the Moneyline Dice roll. That's right. They are live in prime time, ready to rock and roll. They are here on set with your boy. So without further ado, you see the matchup, the Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, let's change the ticker. Oh, I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it.
Hey.
And bring us back in the picture. Oh, how about that? Clippers, ticker, picture. Maybe you're just not a rapper, so you don't think about things in that fucking order. But, just like Eminem once said, orange doesn't
there you go.
Orange doesn't rhyme with anything, but you can say, I'll take my 4-inch door hinge. I don't remember what the fuck he said, but shout out Eminem for that. Yeah, 4-inch door hinge, some fucking shit. I don't know. Either way, we ain't fucking rapping today. We're in the Moneyline Dice roll. Partner, please be so kind as to tell all of our fans out there, let me add it in here, Suns versus Clippers. Please let us know. Obviously, you can tell if you are a fan of sports in any form or fashion. You know this game is played in L.A. as the Clippers being the team on the right side. So, partner, that being said, who's the favorite? Who's the dog? What's the current total set at? And what are these Moneyline Dice going to be rolling for today?
All righty, my friends. So you mentioned this one is in L.A. We've got the Suns and Clippers. The Suns coming in as the, at least on FanDuel, 2.5-point favorite, 3 in some spots, but I'm seeing 2.5 here for the Suns. 210 is also the total here, but we are without both Devin Booker and doubtful for Paul George, so I imagine he's going to be out. Typically, doubtfuls mean a big old fat OUT. So interesting roll for the dice today. A lot of public action on the Suns. A lot of big money coming in on the Clippers. So we'll see who prevails today. We'll see where the dice are rolling to.
Well, they're warmed up. They're ready to rock and roll. So
right.
One final time, Suns are the road favorite, lane 3, if I heard you correctly, and one more time with said total.
Well, if we're going off FanDuel, it is 2.5, and the total is 210.
210. Okay, so 210, 2.5. We'll say that. Oh boy. Okay, 210, 2.5. Game is in LA. We know the stage. It has been proverbially set. So the first roll of the day. Are we going home team? Are we going away team? I don't know. Mags doesn't know. But this cubicle object that we refer to as the Moneyline Dice certainly does. So for the first time here today on this beautiful December the 13th, 2021, we all find out. In 3, in 2, in 1. Away team.
Phoenix Suns. Okay.
Phoenix Suns. Unofficial side selected. Second roll. Are we going to the money line, or are we going to lay the 2.5 against the number? That's upside down. That is not. There we go. There we have it. So without further ado, we find out for the second time what the dice are feeling. In 3, in 2, in 1. ATS.
ATS, all right.
Under the old desk, but is ATS. So unofficially, the Phoenix Suns -2.5. Now, will the dice be doubling down for the first time to kick this week off? Or are they saying, boys, sorry, the lighting was off just a little bit. We need a reroll. They're saying, no, everything's good there. We just got an additional play you need to know about. We're going to the total. I have no clue. Neither does Mags, but the cubicle objects that be the Moneyline Dice certainly do. For the final time here today, we all find out. In 3, in 2, in 1. Away ATS.
Doubling down. Okay.
Away ATS.
Doubling
Away
down.
ATS.
I like it, man. Like I said, a lot of split money here and there, but too many injuries to actually think that means anything, man. So I might ride with the dice on the 2.5, dude.
The dice have spoken. If you want a guaranteed take one ticket, count it, one ticket to the pay window tonight. No questions, no qualms, no queries, none of the bullshit from you floppy meat sacks to these cubicle objects that be the Moneyline Dice. Lock in right here, right now. Phoenix Suns, -2.5.
All right. Guess we've got a new name for our haters. Is that what we're doing here?
Thank you, Dice. Thank you, Dice.
Thank you, Dice.
You know,
Thank
we
you.
walk around in our floppy meat sacks and these solid edges out here giving a fucking... I don't know where that came from. Welcome to the TTL Pod, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there you go. There you have it. Phoenix Suns -2.5. The Moneyline Dice have spoken. All right. Without further ado, we'll get rid of these bad boys. Sleep well, sweet prince. We'll see you at the pay window tonight.
I mean, in
What
all
say
honesty,
you?
before we continue, proceed with caution on the NBA this week, my friends. We
Terrible.
found a game as far as that Pacers one where we feel like there's some type of at least certainty, maybe not certainties, but at least some type of trends and certainties there. The rest of the damn league this week, man, whether it's injuries or, people having to sit out, our Bulls, I hope our Bulls get canceled tomorrow. Otherwise, you and I might be getting a call this week, my friend. I don't know what the hell's going on right now.
Most definitely. It is, it's a strange time in the NBA, and even further cements the fact of why I stay away till about Christmas time. I don't try and force myself in anything unless I see something like the Pacers today that jumps off the screen at us. So, there you go. There you have it. Everything's been recapped for you. It's all ready to rock and roll. If, by chance, you missed the recap, you missed one of our best bets of the day, you missed the special play, you missed the Moneyline Dice roll, whatever the case might be, not to fear. We have plenty of other options where you can find all of our best bets of the day. Number 1, follow us on the Action Network app. You can find me at cash_with_Colt. You can find Riley in at RMags in all caps is what I was trying to say. And you can find every single show's best bets of the day, the straight plays and the special plays, which always gamble responsibly. 1 unit on the straight plays, quarter unit to a half unit on the special play. That is always what we do. Afford to be who you can, or be who you can afford to be is the correct way to say that, but get all of those at Talking the Line on the Action app. You can also follow our board on Chalkboard. You can follow it Talking the Line. I know, super hard to remember. Jump in one of our channels. Go back and forth with us. We got one channel for just about every possible thing you could imagine. Sports, bad beats, bets, all of our content, anything you might need to know about TTL, it is all there. Download the Chalkboard HQ app on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and follow them on Twitter at Chalkboard HQ. Last but certainly not least, you ain't got none of that. You got one of them old-fashioned flip phones, maybe the Motorola from 1992. I don't know. I'm not here to judge, but what I do know is the internet's pretty easily accessible, so you can go to talkingtheline.com/today's-best-bets, and you will find all of our best bets, and maybe while you're on there, you'll stumble into some additional content too. So there you go. There you have it. All of our methods of finding our best bets and additional content. Outside of that, let's drop it on down into fourth gear and burn some rubber, buddy. Yay! Here we go. Second half of the show. RMags Sidebar. A little bit of banter, some leans, and always important, TTL announcements. So without further ado, partner. Anything burning on the brain, melting on the heart, festering on the soul, you have been dying to get out to the kind folks that joined us on episode number 181 on this absolutely beautiful December the 13th, 2021.
My friend, we can make it rather snappy, but I'm, after some interesting performances this past week, and we haven't talked about it in a few weeks, interested in talking a little NFL awards, season-ending awards, as far as the future market is concerned. I was not surprised to see that he was the favorite, but as far as the MVP award for the NFL, after yesterday's performance, Tom Brady's coming in at minus 150 to win the damn NFL MVP, my friend, which, like I said, was not surprised to see him as a favorite after yesterday, but with what Rodgers also did, he's only at plus 600, man, and, call me a homer, and maybe all of the narrative surrounding... Okay, yeah, you can call me a homer, of course. Is that worth a play, though, from an unbiased perspective, plus 600? Is this, media narrative too steep of a hill to climb? Like, does he have to really far and away outperform Tom? Because I think that's, like, if those guys are neck and neck with everything that's going on this year, they're going to give it to Tom Brady, right?
150%, and I don't think your boy has a shot in hell regardless of what he does to close out the season. I think the whole COVID shit shot him in the fucking foot. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what any fan of Aaron Rodgers thinks. It matters what that fucking voting committee thinks. Yeah. And most of those people are members of the media, and most of those people sit on their fucking thumbs and bitch about all the shit that we don't talk about on this pod. Right. So... I'd say probably not a shot in hell, and I think it's probably locked up at this point in time for old TB12, but hey, just as I say that, who knows, maybe something will happen, but
right,
there's that. Other ones, actually, what else you got? Keep going.
Yeah, sorry. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Mac Jones, minus 400, probably not much to look at there, unless he gets hurt, obviously knock on wood, unless he gets hurt, that's probably his to lose. Because
I had Jamar to get it in my blog, and I think if he wouldn't have had so many of these drops, because we saw a couple of key ones yesterday. Sure. Now, granted, he always gets his payback
makes up for it.
Yeah, he always makes up for him, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, he always has a stupid toe tap in the back of the end zone that just, that drop wasn't really that bad. But as far as numbers for Overroy, I think you're in the right spot. I don't think Mac Jones is going anywhere. Firmly supplanted at number one unless he breaks both legs. Knock on wood to my boy Mac.
All right, nothing to talk about here. Micah Parsons is getting D-Roy, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Easy money.
But
easy money.
He is third. Actually, he's tied for second as far as odds on FanDuel for the entire Defensive Player of the Year award. You got Myles Garrett, one of my two picks. I made two picks on Defensive Player of the Year. Myles Garrett was one of them. He's at plus 250. TJ Watt and Micah Parsons at plus 350. Any opinions here? Obviously, I got my Myles Garrett ticket, so I'm going to stand firm to that because he had another nice day yesterday as far as I think he had a strip sack, if not a fumble recovery. But, man, Micah Parsons, especially after his performance yesterday, it's hard to deny him on anything right now. And TJ Watt with the, a couple games missed at least, I feel like he's kind of the odd one out of those three, at least for this award this year. Would you agree with that?
I would say so, yeah. I don't think TJ has the numbers to be in that conversation this year for sure. I mean, he's still playing good, but he was hurt too. He was hurt too. So I mean, it's no knock on him whatsoever. But he's not in that conversation.
But when you say that, they said something on Thursday as far as how many sacks he has in how many games, and I knew that, but I guess I didn't know exactly what the number is. So as I'm saying that, maybe if he can rack in another, half dozen sacks, then maybe I don't know.
And I'm not saying like Micah Parsons shouldn't have Defensive Rookie of the Year at all, but I think that Trevin Diggs should be a lot more of a conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year than he's not. I'm not saying that being a linebacker versus being a cornerback is the easier or harder or whatever, but there's been linebackers to do that, and the last cornerback to get a Defensive Rookie of the Year or any type of honor is back in the 70s, and I mean, it's those type of numbers. So, what is just a cornerback never going to get it again? I don't know. I guess it's just kind of a subtle soapbox for me because, I mean, he's not even in the top. He's not even in the top six of odds, and the top six are 100-1 odds. So, and that finishes with Asante Samuel Jr. So, a little bit weird.
He might. He's fourth in Defensive Player of the Year odds, though. I don't know if they list him as a rookie.
Yeah, I guess not. So yeah, he's fourth in Defensive Player of the Year odds, but he's plus 1,000. So I mean, maybe if he closes out the season, might be worth a little bit of a sprinkle if he closes out the season big here. I obviously had all of my eggs in one basket on Chase Young, so that came to a screeching halt a couple weeks ago. T's and P's, Chase. Hopefully you have a speedy recovery, my friend. But I would say either Myles Garrett or Trevin Diggs because. because with Trevin Diggs not even having an opportunity to get D-Roy, like, I think something crazy could happen. Like, if he closes out the season with some, like, 2 games with 2 picks each, so he's got like, and then maybe another one, and maybe a couple of crazy plays. Like, it's very, very, very possible. I mean, the way that man just finds the ball and gets his hands on the ball, like Micah Parsons, he's their blitzer, he's their go-to guy in that, he's their run stopper, all that jazz. But like Trevin Diggs, I haven't seen a quarterback perform like that. I want to say almost since Revis Island, my friend. Like maybe Patrick Peterson. Like, I don't know. He is a bad.
No,
dude.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. I'm not. He's gotten.
Dude.
I think a knock is like he's gotten, because he's a gambler. He's a gambler. He's gotten beat on a few plays, I'm thinking of that Chiefs game specifically. But anyways, did you end up, I can't remember, did you end up taking any action on Dak comeback player of the year?
I took Dak, and I took as well as Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey obviously is completely dead, but Dak Prescott now to minus 1,000.
Oh, yeah. That's a winner. Yeah, no question.
And I believe I locked it at plus 150. I'll have to go back and look, but I think actually, I got it right here. Okay, come on. Where are we at?
I don't think I did.
Wow,
actually.
I got it at plus 215, actually. Holy
Yeah.
shit, son. I got some solid futures.
Yeah, I remember there was like a few books that were around plus 150, and then there was that one, and it was like too good to pass up.
100%. What else you got?
Last 2, real quick. Who's your coach of the year at this point? Bill Belichick plus 150, Kingsbury plus 300, Matt LaFleur plus 900. A few other guys if they get hot, but I feel like it's probably those 3 guys. Is it Bills to lose?
Yeah, I think it's Bills to lose for sure. I mean, he took a rookie quarterback and he's completely turned everything around. He's just done classic Bill Belichick shit. My only other probably bet would go for Cliff Kingsbury. Anything else? I mean, you could argue Staley, but just hasn't done enough. You could argue LaFleur, but that's same shit, different day. You could argue Vrabel, but whatever. No way McCarthy. No way Zach Taylor. Frank Reich. Great. The Colts got a first round bye while they were on a bye. I mean, terrific, wonderful, whatever they're doing. I don't know. I would say definitely 1 and 2. If Belichick something crazy happens and Kingsbury can do something wild, I don't know, but I would say yes. Belichick's pretty firmly planted, even still at plus 150. So
unless the wheels fall off, which I don't see happening. Last one. Offensive player of the year. Looks like a 2-man race according to the odds. Jonathan Taylor plus 150. Cooper Kupp plus 200. Next closest is plus 2,000. Jonathan Taylor, if he rips off another one of these huge games, I think it's going to be Jonathan Taylor, because Cooper Kupp, I mean, I guess I kind of expect him to have a nice game tonight, but as far as what he was producing, he's seen some regression. So I think it's probably Jonathan Taylor's to lose unless Cooper Kupp goes off for a couple multi-touchdown games or something in the last few weeks here.
Well, speaking of Cooper, I also think Jonathan Taylor does get AP Offensive Player of the Year. Speaking of Cooper Kupp having a huge night tonight, why are people still talking as if, I think the Cardinals defense is a little fugazi? It's fucking week 14, and you just made that face at me. When are the fucking wheels supposed to fall off? Like, I'm confused here. They've only consistently gotten better, and the narrative is still, it's kind of fugazi. I think they're gonna suck. Like, if they beat the shit out of the Rams tonight, is it gonna be solid, or what the hell? Or if they hold their own, like, when are the Rams or the Cardinals defense gonna get any type of respect?
I mean, I guess it would be tonight, because I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't know if I made a face that made it look like I was disagreeing with you. I was making that face at who the people you're talking about, basically, because for the most part, I agree with you. If they throw up a sticker tonight, though, then I think that crowd is going to be talking pretty loudly. I told you. I know. But I don't know. I have a feeling that same crowd is also the Matt Stafford sucks crowd, so
I also don't think they're going to
their head might explode. I don't know.
I also don't think they're going to throw up a stinker tonight, because we got the under, man, and I think that's going to be the key thing here. There's going to be a lot lower scoring than you would kind of think, and maybe Cooper Kupp doesn't have an 8-catch, 140-yard night.
I don't think anyone's going to be like shining like, oh my god. I think it's going to be a 24-21 type game. That's what I'm predicting.
I think so too. I think it'll be a solid little Monday night game. Of course, anything out of the NFC West is always a solid game. So, geez, no Manning cast tonight, right?
I think. I mean, with last week they said, "I'll see you in January, bud." So I don't know. It drives me fucking nuts, but that's what it sounds like.
they are not going to have. Let's just double check Omaha Productions. Yeah, looks like they haven't tweeted shit for 5 days, so yeah, probably won't have the old. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. I mean, we sat and listened to the Sunday Night Football coverage last night. Like, hey, shout out legends in the industry, Michaels and Collinsworth, but.
Man, that was
just
bad.
anymore, it's just not fun to listen to, and it's really annoying when even if your fucking team sucks, like, it was a decent fucking game last night till about the fourth quarter, and at the very end of the fourth quarter, and all I heard for the entire game was, when I look at a guy. I look at Aaron Rodgers, and he is the. And see, now you got me fucked up off it. You always got to fucking edit.
You got to throw in the ow.
Yeah. Yep. That was it. The entire fucking game. It was just nothing but, Aaron Rodgers is the best guy on the planet. He's the brightest guy in the room. Oh, this Packers guy, this guy. Oh, when you see this, and then, the Bears are just so terrible in this. They really own them. They really own them, Al. Like, what are we talking about? What, like, why? It's just like we weren't even talking about football. We were just talking about these human beings. This is cool, whatever. Yeah. It's like they're trying to do their own rendition of what the Manning cast is doing now, and it's just not good. It's just not good at all. So, I don't know.
Credit to them. I know they mentioned something about it was like 15-point game. He's like, and he does this. Al Michaels does this pretty often in that spot. But 15 points, significant to some. I believe there was 43 points, something about that was long pass. So shout out to them for kind of sprinkling that in at the end there.
Yeah, big time. Thought the Bears were gonna potentially be able to get it done. Speaking of that game last night, but no, not ever a chance. Once it got into that third quarter, that disgusting third quarter, the Bears can't play from the behind is a thing. Like if they get a fucking 4-touchdown lead and like then they can just because they can't play.
We'll wrap it up, otherwise we'll be here for another hour. But for a 4-win team going up against a team where you have to put up a lot of points. It's unfathomable to me that they kick a field goal to start the game when they have clearly some momentum, 0-0. They kick a field goal at like the 2 or 3 yard line, and then they're about to punt, and it almost worked out for them with the punt there. And I don't know if I think it was early fourth quarter. What are you doing kicking for it on 4th and 1? You're a 4-win team, and you're losing, and you're giving the ball back to Aaron Rodgers. I know the concern is like, if we don't get it, we give Aaron Rodgers the ball at the 40. He doesn't give a shit. He wants to kill the clock. That's all he cares about. You're giving him the ball to kill the clock. Why are you 100%. Doing that? Don't do it.
It's just not smart from a coaching perspective. And then, not going for it on the goal line and kicking field goals. You don't beat Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and guys of that caliber and quality by kicking field goals. So, that was really annoying. What was the other thing that you hit on right there?
Kicking the field goal early in the game.
Yeah, outside of that, there was one other thing that
the punt at the end. There, I don't know.
The fucking punt, the worst. The worst call I've ever seen in my life. Like most of the time, I fucking agree with those. Like the dude ran out of bounds. He ran fucking 25 yards down the field and fucking. Then he kind of came in and went out again. I don't remember who it was. It was Vildor. It was fucking Vildor. He went out of bounds. He took 3 steps and realized he was out of bounds and literally flipped his whole fucking hips and ran directly back into the fucking green. And by the letter of the law, if you run out and you immediately run back in, which he did, that's not a penalty. So we got stiffed. And if that happens, that's a huge momentum swing, even though you can't run it in for a touchdown, which I also think is bullshit. Like that's a dumbass. That ball's dead. That's stupid.
Like why?
I mean that's stupid. Either way, that was kind of the backbreaker. That was the backbreaker for sure. When they threw the penalty on that, it was like, well, that's about a wrap. We had an opportunity, boys, but there you go, out the window.
But not to lay it on more, and this will be the final thing, but from a special teams perspective, the Packers have to clean that up. Otherwise, that might beat them in the playoffs. But if you're a Bears fan, you're kind of talking like, they put up a decent fight. If the Packers had a competent special teams unit in that game, that would have been a 40-13 game.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
So like, and I was listening to some on my way home from your apartment, some Chicago radio, and Matt Nagy he could not let go how proud of the special teams he was. Like, oh yeah, we knew we had a good special teams edge. Like he's just holding on to every bit of like positive, like something that he did positively or his coaching staff did positively, man. So I promise I'm not trying to shove the knife in your back. It's just
so. And that'll stop shoving it in. You're absolutely murdering me. You're murdering me right now because it fucking sucked. I thought we had the opportunity, and fuck. I don't know, man. Like you said, we'll be here another hour. We keep talking about the Bears and the Packers, and you're glitching just a little bit, but I think we'll catch up. Oh yeah, you're catching back up now. All right, so here we go. One final little thing I wanted to touch on because it was a card and a half was UFC this past Saturday. First things first, got to get the elephant out of the room. Shout out Juliana Pena, Chicagoland stand up. She actually trains at VFS right up the street here from the production studios. Juliana Pena upsets Amanda de Leones Nunes and is the new strawweight champ. So obviously we're going to see a run it back of that. We'll see the rematch. We'll see what happens. But what it came down to me, man, and I rewatched the fight about 5 times now. I kept diving back into it. Yeah. And Juliana did exactly what she said she would do. She kept sticking out the jab, kept sticking out the jab, kept sticking out the jab. And every other woman that the Lioness has faced has taken her jab back. And then after they've eaten a couple, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna step back a little bit. Juliana just kept walking down. I mean, she got her whole eye closed shut because of how much she kept walking down. And I think that really, really, really surprised Amanda. And after Amanda got caught with one pop, 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 oh, she said, is that a 2-piece in the soda? What the fuck just happened? And another pop, pop, pop. She said, what the fuck is going on? And she said, okay, come here, Juliana, please. Okay, to the cage, please. Please, let's not fuck around. And then Juliana said, okay, well, we're going to the ground, sweet pea. And so many people have said it. She looked like she didn't even think she had won it. And that was kind of because she said that Amanda really didn't fight it. She was really surprised that she didn't. And she thought that she would put up a little bit more of a fight once she got her arms around her neck. But apparently not, and we have a new baddest woman on the planet.
So my question on all of this is, would you attribute it more to Amanda not being 100% ready and maybe kind of letting the foot off the gas because she's been cruising, or do you think she was just shocked that someone finally touched her up a little bit?
Much like they say in NFL, my friend, any given Sunday, in the fight game, it's any given night. The thrill and the agony, anybody can get caught at any point in time. And if you come in with the right game plan and you don't back off of that game plan, which is that's what every woman should have as the game plan of going against Amanda, is put the pressure on her. Put the pressure on her because we've seen it a little bit early on in her career when she would eat those shots, she didn't like them. So she started just walking bitches down and saying, forget it, I'm just going to run through you, and this is what we're going to do. Right. Well, now it's not as much as the case. Like, especially if she's going to be facing girls like Juliana that are just in the face, they're not going anywhere. They're not going to back down. So I don't know. I think we are going to be in for one hell of a rubber match. I will tell you that. I don't know when it's going to be. If I was a bet man, I would say probably won't be till this time next year, I would say.
You think a full year, huh?
I think so. I think it'll maybe not, but
maybe
I don't know.
Summer or something?
Maybe summer. It might even be longer. Leoness might need some time off. She just did not sound right. She did not sound right in the post-fight presser. I don't know. It was interesting, but hey, shout out Juliana Pena. Charles Oliveira winning # don't bet against Brazilians as the underdog against the Diamond Poirier. The craziest part about it is that Poirier was eating some shots. Poirier was eating some of the best shots I've seen Dustin throw in a long time, and he just kept walking him down. And next thing you knew, he ended up on Dustin's back, and it was all but a wrap from there. Shout out, 155, I think, has a new king for the foreseeable future. I don't see anybody beating him. I don't see Gaethje beating him. I love Gaethje to pieces, too. I don't see anybody coming in there and beating Charles right now. I don't know about you.
Maybe Makhachev. That would be my pick.
Islam Makhachev?
Yeah, Makhachev.
Potentially.
That would be my pick.
I don't think
I want to see that. I just want to see that fight so bad.
He has to wrestle him, though. Like, that's not like that. Yeah. I stylistically for Makachev, that's not a good thing. Like, especially with how fucking good Oliveira is on the ground. Like, everybody that fucking Makachev have faced so far, he's smashed because they have no ground game. And he just does the classic Khabib, fucking get you down, heavy hips, and fucking weigh on you and just smash your fucking face in on the ground. I don't think he can do that to Charles. If anybody was going to do that, I was thinking maybe Dustin. So I think it'll be a hell of a fight, but I think old Islam would be a little bit overvalued there.
Well, I guess last thing as far as this, would you say that's probably next in line? Like, I don't know if Makachev has a fight lined up yet. Is he fighting Beneil Dariush?
Yes.
Is that lined up?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Is that winner gets the winner of Gaethje Oliveira probably?
I would imagine, because Beneil's been doing his thing too, and he's almost pretty much next in line. So yeah, both of those guys I think kind of jumped RDA in the rankings, and as far as like, hey, you're going to get another opportunity at a title shot or whatever the case might be, because RDA just backed out of too many doggone fights in a row. It was like 5 in a row. So I think both of those guys kind of jumped, and then yeah, that's kind of the number one contender for the title fight right now. So yeah, I like it. I'm a big fan of what's going on in 155. It's absolutely stacked. We had some other solid fights. Tai Tuivasa ended up getting his 13th knockout. Did a shoey for the man. Shot out. That was insane. The whole card was insane. It was an absolutely electric night of fights. If you did not watch them, you missed out, my friends. Didn't do too bad. Ended up going positive on the UFC blog. Missed the hashtag don't bet against Brazilians parlay by one leg. Missed it by this much. Pedro Munoz, I knew that was going to be a tight fight. I thought he would be able to pressure Dom enough to get the job done, and Dom just looked like, Joe Rogan said at the end, vintage Dominic Cruz. That's what he looked like. Classic vintage Dominic Cruz. And when he's like that and moving like that, nobody in that 135 or 145 division is going to beat him, period. Point blank, period. So there you go. There you have it. Comes to UFC. Outside of that, nothing major. Looks like Kareem Hunt got a little banged up yesterday. He's now kind of unlikely to play on Saturday. Oh, we got the extra Saturday games this week. I forgot about that.
Yes, sir, we do. I think we got a couple.
Yeah. There's a few of them. So unlikely to play Saturday. Now Hunt's back to week after just coming back from being on. I don't think he was all the way on. Yeah, he was on IR for a little while. Yeah. So he's finally back, and now he's back jacking around with it again.
Yeah, we've got some good NFL games coming up, man. Chiefs Chargers this Thursday. Raiders Browns on Saturday. We'll see what happens there. I don't know what the hell the Raiders are, as we haven't really been able to figure out all season long. But that Patriots Colts, I think that's going to be a good one in Indy on Saturday night.
I think it will be too. You know, the Colts almost getting 2 weeks of rest in that spot. They're getting a hot minute. No, I guess they played on Sunday. I was thinking they played a primetime game 2 weeks ago. But coming off the bye, either way, and with the Patriots kind of playing this a little bit of a grueling last few games here, I think that's going to be a 100%. Game and a half on Saturday. I think we're going to have some action there for sure.
Yeah, a little bit of a weak Sunday, so not terribly weak, but, kind of similar to what yesterday was, honestly.
Sure enough. Well, there you go. There you have it. That about does it on my end. We'll get into all that NFL goodness as the week continues to roll on. College football championship games rolling around this weekend. Start on the 17th and then pretty much all the way through 2nd, 3rd, 4th week in January. New Year's Six Bowls, all that good shit. That'll be coming around, and then we'll dive into more college basketball. College basketball really starting to stick to some trends. Things are starting to get solidified. The books are getting smart. The public's getting dumber. So I'm starting to really like that a lot, especially on my mid-majors. Everybody thinks they know what they're talking about, and we've been going in the right direction. So let's keep it moving, keep it grooving with that. We'll keep cashing CBB tickets. We'll keep finding the trends for you. We'll keep dishing out winners left, right, and center. If you don't have an opportunity to stop by for any of the winners on the daily show, make sure you stop by our website or check out any of our other content. You go to talkingtheline.com. All of our shows have their own individual tabs, so Talking the Line Pod, the Wise Words Pod, which we're actually recording episode number 4 of Season 2 of that Wise Words podcast today, dropping on this upcoming Wednesday, December the 15th at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then also Cup of Joe on campus every Saturday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time has its own tab, and then you can hit the More tab, and you'll see my blogs, RMags blogs, our best bets of the day, live lines and odds, our partners, about us, maybe some extra content you didn't even know existed. Check it all out. Dive through it. Let us know. We even got a little comment box, if you will. If you got a suggestion, you want to talk with us, you want to know about something, drop it in there. we'll communicate with you. We promise. Outside of that, nothing major that I got on the agenda left here, partner, outside of a little inspiration, motivation in my motivation minutes of the day. Anything left from you before we wrap this bad boy up?
No, sir. Lay it down for us. I'm ready to get rock and roll.
Okay. So, final segment of the day, my friends. My motivation minutes. Now, if you're just coming around, you wouldn't know this, but if you have been coming around for a while, you know how we start the week and how we end the week with a John Wooden quote. Ended Friday with the John Wooden quote about magnifying your blessings instead of your disappointments. And if we all took the opportunity to do that, we would all be much happier. So I begin today, obviously rhetorically, but a little bit of thought-provoking. Did you take time to magnify your blessings this weekend, or did you spend your time magnifying your disappointments to all those you came in contact with? I can't answer that question for you. Only you can, and hopefully you find yourself on the earlier side of that question, not on the latter. But if you find yourself on the latter, you can always turn it around. You can always start magnifying those blessings again, and maybe kind of today's quote plays into that just a little bit, maybe doing life right, if you will. So, what do I mean by that? Well, I'll tell you today's quote, and it'll all come full circle. Today's John Wooden quote of the day: if you don't have the time to do it right, when will you have the time to do it over? If you don't have the time to do it right, when will you have the time to do it over? So if you don't have the time to live this life right and be grateful and be thankful and magnify your blessings, but you got the time to live it wrong and be negative and toxic and all those wonderful words, then when are you going to have the time to actually start living it right and start having good things come your way? You don't actively apply it, then it's never going to happen. And that kind of just came as a rabbit hole itself as I was thinking about this. But when I think about this John Wooden quote, it can be the simplest thing in the world, man. And I know I've talked about something this simple like doing dishes on the show before. And if you don't have the time to spend 2 minutes, I promise you, it only takes 2 minutes. It might seem like it's 30 minutes because you're doing something you don't want to do, but it's still about the only same fucking 2 minutes. I can promise you that. And Mags, you can attest to it. You watched me yesterday. Instead of popping on the couch yesterday and continuing to watch football, I finished those dishes before we sat back down. It's a discipline thing. It's a small thing. It's a little thing. But if you don't have the time to do it right now and make sure it's done and get it set and get it rocking, when are you going to have the time to do it over because you didn't do it right this time? So if you're trying to rush through life and rush through something and, okay, I get it done like this, whatever, chances are if that's how you're going through life, you're having to double back on those things over and over and over and over again. And, you know, if you would just do it right the first time, everything would be a lot easier. And I'll tell you a little story of my childhood to kind of wrap this up. And I'm sure, shout out Mama Bear, if you're watching the show today. I know she'll get a kick out of this. I know she'll probably show this to my stepdad too, and he'll get a fucking kick out of it. But when I was a little kid, I didn't spend Saturdays watching cartoons and fucking around and whatever. I got out and I did yard work, and I mowed the grass, and I would rake leaves and pick up sticks and whatever. And we had this walnut tree on the corner of the property. And that son of a bitch, I mean, there must have been 2 million walnuts on that thing, all over the mess. And before we would mow on Saturday mornings, I would have to go underneath that walnut tree and rake them all into the center and then pick them up. And, yeah, tedious work, shitty work.
Sounds
absolutely.
miserable.
Yeah, you're 12 years old, you're ripping your arms off. You'd rather pull your eyelids off of your face. There's some stuff like that. It's not great. But I look back now, made me the man I am today. However, big radius. So I'd park the old tractor with the tub where I'd put them in, then dump them. With the trailer behind it, I would park it right in the middle, and then I'd just kind of all rake it and put it in one area. Well, one day, I decided that I just was going to do it my way, and I knew how I was going to do it, so I was standing out, and I was just chucking walnuts to the trailer. Out in this big fucking radius, just fucking chucking walnuts. Now, my friends, I don't know if you've ever seen a walnut, but they're round. So when you throw them and they miss the trailer, they roll about another 50 feet in the opposite direction. So then I just walk the other way and chuck them back the other way. And here I am just fucking following walnuts, chasing walnuts down the whole fucking yard all day long. when I could have just taken the original time to rake them up and put them in that trailer. And maybe, funnily, I have realized it now, that that's what that old redneck was trying to teach me. And I'm grateful that I'm able to bring it here and give you guys that for your thoughts and be able to apply something small, just kind of that visual. Maybe it makes you laugh, either way, at my expense. Ha ha, funny, funny, har har. Either way, it gives you something to think about when it comes to whatever you're doing next. If you think about going through it on autopilot, rushing through it, I ain't got time to, I'll just do what. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you don't have the time to do it right, when are you going to have the time to do it over? I'll answer the question for you. You're not going to. So my friends, start doing it right the first time. Stop wasting your life and your time and your energy on shit that doesn't need to be repeated. So one final time. Today's John Wooden quote of the day. If you don't have the time to do it right, when will you have the time to do it over? And that does it for my motivation minutes of the day.
I like it, my man. I like it. I was waiting for the walnut story. I thought you were going to say that you just didn't do it and then you were just running over walnuts and shooting walnuts left and right or something like that. That's what I was waiting for.
That would have been bad too. That would have been even worse. But no, just chasing walnuts all day.
12-year-old Riley did a little bit of that with like sticks, and then tell him, "Oh yeah, Dad, I picked them all up," and then Dad 5 minutes later, what the hell?
What is all of this shit? Yeah, yep, sure did.
So yeah, roundabout way to learn that lesson sometimes as well. But hey.
There you go, my friends. Absolutely appreciate you too. There you have it. My motivation minutes officially of the day. All right, nothing else over here on this agenda, partner. Anything else you got before we wrap up today's show officially?
Only thing as far as news, Carolina Panthers looking like an ugly team these days. DJ Moore pulled his hamstring in his day-to-day, and Matt Rule says they will continue to play both Cam Newton and PJ Walker. Adds that Sam Darnold is still a couple weeks away from being healthy and ready to go. So if you've been watching the Carolina Panthers, that is about as rough a news as it can be, because they have been an ugly watch the last few weeks without Sam Darnold.
For sure. Appreciate the NFL updates, a little bit of NBA news. If you hadn't seen it this morning, Elise Johnson hit the COVID-19 protocols for the Bulls. So while one team gets ransacked in the city of Chicago by stupid-ass Uncle COVID, them being the Chicago Bulls, our other team, the Chicago Blackhawks right now, well, I can't forget about the Bears, but the Blackhawks right now, they got their game canceled because of COVID, but not because of their own COVID. It was all of Calgary's. Actually, Calgary got 3 games postponed now. So against our Blackhawks tonight, the Preds and the Maple Leafs, all of them on hold. Looks like a pretty serious outbreak in Calgary's facilities. So T's and P's, son of a bitch, Uncle Rona killing the Calgary Flames. But there you go. There you have it. No foreseeable Calgary Flames games for the foreseeable future.
I'm worried the Bulls might be in that similar category, man, because I wasn't kidding. You and I might be getting a call this week.
Starting to get a little worried, I will say so myself.
Working on my jumper today.
Yeah, me too. We've just been hitting a little. I've been throwing throwing trash in the trash can over here, the whole time. So there you go. There you have it. That sure seems like an episode of the TTL Pod, but we have one final item to complete. Ladies and gentlemen, degenerates and gamblers, far and wide, for myself and Mags. Thank you so much for choosing to tune in to episode number 181 of the TTL Pod on this beautiful Monday of bets, also known as December the 13th, 2021, so you don't have to check your calendar for the final time today. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate each and every one of you for your likes, your follows, your support, your listen, your views, your shares, your comments, your ats, everything in between when it comes to this social media world, because you know what it does. It helps us make TTL Sports Media bigger and better for each and every one of you, and we cannot tell you how much from the bottom of our hearts we thank you for allowing us to chase this passion every single morning and share our thoughts, our passions with you. You spending your hard-earned time and energy with us is more than we could ever ask. So one more time, thank you. We hope you have a spectacular rest of your Monday, unless you have any other plans. And as per usual, before we hit the stop button, partner, let's cash some tickets.